Have you heard?
Trying to get it right. Transition. Changing the way that I see life. Transition mind. I'm on a mission. On a mission. Trying to get it right. I'm transitioning my life. Making a transition. Ooh, making a transition. Ooh, making a transition. Making a transition. Trying a mission, a mission. I'm on a mission. On a mission, I'm trying to get it right. Changing the way that I see life. Transition in my life. On a mission. On a mission. On a mission.
Welcome to Alchemizing Energy. We're here once again with our special guest, Baba Yashabiyah. We are talking about the unseen government. So, lately, we have so much going on with this Diddy trial that everybody's all, really focused on that. Meanwhile, there's a whole bunch of other things going on in behind the scenes, right? So now you have Elon Musk. He had been gifted with the whole Doge thing. He had been trusted with that to be like a part of government, and then all of a sudden, now they're calling him a drug addict and all kind of different stuff. They're calling him they're saying that they're finally admitting that he's taking money from the U.S. government and things like that. And we were kind of going over this kind of unseen hand of the government that people don't know about. Well, people know about it, but they think it's conspiracy, So I thought that it would be a good time, and Baba thought it would be a good time to kind of go over some of these things, because a lot of the things that you see is not what you know. What you think you see is not
Right.
what. So without further ado, I would let Baba just kind of get into let's talk about the unseen government.
All right. Allah to my sisters and brothers, shalom to the Hebrew community, assalamu alaikum to the Muslim community. Look, we got we're going in a time now where uh, it's a lot of distractions to keep you off of what's really happening behind the scenes. And there are many people do not know and understand what's really going on. So I'm thankful to the God is here, and we're going to do some things first and foremost, because I don't think a lot of people understand what's going on. There's been a lot of changes took place in this so-called government. First and foremost, the United States of America is not a country. It is a corporation. It launched habeas corpus in 1871, and it fell into the hands of the banking cartel. Now, you've heard of the Rothschild, and then people play it off as conspiracy. But tonight, with my beloved sisters, assistants, and you, and I want y'all to write this down, and I'm going to say this again. First and foremost, don't believe nothing that I say. Do the research. So, Sister Monica, let's go and type in the Committee of 300, the World Banking Cartel, or the banking group. If you'll do that. The lot of folks may have never heard of. You heard of the Bilderbergs and all this. But the ones you got to watch is this one. It's called the Committee of 300, the World Banking Group or Banking Cartel. Because, see, they bought, when America, after coming off these various wars and civil wars, they decided to bring this thing called United States Incorporated. It is chartered in Britain. So America is collateral for the money that they borrowed to try to cover the debt. So let's just see. And the scripture says the borrower is a slave to the lender. So let's just see where we're at. And I ask y'all to read along. You don't have to believe what we're saying. Just do the research. You tell me when you find it, and we want to go into it. Yeah. My old word is documentation beats conversation.
What did you need? Did you need me to look something up?
Yeah, please. It's called the Committee of 300, the banking group or banking cartel. And maybe our audience or our listeners out there can do it, because you might have heard bits and pieces, but you know us well. You know that like you said earlier, everything is not what it seems. They got things called distractions and got you looking up, while behind the curtain they got a whole nother ball game going on. And
Now, see on Wikipedia they say it's a conspiracy, but they say the Committee of 300 is a conspiracy theory that claims a powerful group was funded by the British aristocracy in 1727 and rules the world. Proponents of the theory alleging the committee's existence to be an international council that organizes politics, commerce, banking, media, and military for centralized global efforts. The theory dates to a statement made by German politician Walter Rathenau in 1909 article Goffischer Nachricht, New Freeze Press. 300 men of all whom know each other guide the economic decisions of destinies of the continent and seek their successors for their own malou.
so that's what they say. But if that be the case, according to this, it said the Committee of 300 is basically a group of people who runs the world. Above them, there is another group called the Council of 33. The Council of 33. And above
Council.
them, there's the Council of 33. See, they tell us that, but these people are actually running things. This is why the thing with Elon Musk and with Trump, the Council of 33.
So the Council of 33 typically refers to the Supreme Council 33 degrees, which is the governing body of the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. This council consists of 33 members and is the highest authority within the Scottish Rite in a particular jurisdiction. In the southern jurisdiction of the USA, the Supreme Council is also known as the Mother Council of the World. The 33rd degree within the Scottish Rite is an honorary title conferred upon members who have demonstrated exceptional service and dedication to the fraternity and society.
Okay, and of these, there is 13 ruling families. Who was the 13 ruling families? And there's another council called the Ruling Council of 13. You know, they can sit, and all this is documented. So we type in who is the 13 ruling families of the world today, and you're going to find out about the Rothschilds and other groups. The 13 ruling families. Who are the 13 ruling families?
Okay, they don't have that.
They don't tell them about
13
no politics.
ruling families.
It should be a list of the 13.
So they always try to say that they're conspiracy theory, right? So basically it's saying the 13 ruling families concept is a popular and persistent conspiracy theory often associated with the Illuminati. This theory suggests that a small group of elite families secretly control global finances, politics, and industries, sometimes referred as bloodlines. However, there is no concrete evidence to support these claims, and they are generally considered speculative and exaggerated. Now, I mean, I don't know, because they're saying that that's a thing, but I mean, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Bushes, Windsors, the Kennedys, the Soros, the Oppenheimers, all those people do have huge Saudi family. All these things do have, yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I've often heard Cat Williams talk about the Illuminati. Many other actors and things said that dealing all this tied to the Illuminati. This, that, don't let them tell you there's conspiracy, because behind the conspiracy, there is some data that support this. And when you go back and look at how this thing got started, you're talking about the King Alfred plan, Iron Mountain, of the Bohemian Grove. We're quick to say conspiracy, but if you look at behind the conspiracy, something has to cause that to create that thought of pattern by the conspiracy. And we all know that the Rothschilds family financed both sides of the war when they first started, and they got a crest. It's just part of the secret society. I've got material on that, and there's a book called The Illuminati Bloodline. And look at your world. Let me say it like this. We can see a lot of things, but when there's evidence that it's there, you got to accept it. Why is it that that America owes more money global wise than any other country? Why? Why we started borrowing money from so-called enemies, which have more control in this country? And what about this banking cartel, the federal banks that we have? Who runs those 12 federal banks? What family? And you never hear about them running for any political office. It's always some puppet that they stick in there, and they can pull him out and get out. Why did Elon Musk fall out with Trump? What was the deal behind that? Because the more confusion and stuff, it keeps us not looking at the real deal. And we've been following this thing, and we had a talk today with our brother Harold and others, and Andrew, and we went through the list today. They can tell us one thing, but facts is facts and bullshit is bullshit. And you can see it out there right now, what's going on. The big fight. Matter of fact, a world takeover, the new world order. All of these things are already in motion.
Mm-hmm.
Defunding this, take away the education, take away healthcare. They're gradually taking certain things away to put us into a servitude because we already just cuts and casualties. We already commodities in this system because they use it. They use us, as they want to call it, as collateral to borrow money based on our ability to earn money. Why
now,
is it you come to the world?
I have a question. Here's a question. So, with the existing situation with Trump and Elon, they're talking about deporting Elon, and then they're talking about so that basically the United States can get all of his assets and turn them into government assets, and then they're talking about Elon was talking about creating his own political party. So it's crazy that he had a complete 360 from. And my thing is that doesn't this same Elon guy have control of all the data that he got from the whole Doge takeover? Didn't he get everybody's?
Exactly.
So I'm trying to figure out how are we going to allow this person to be in? Yeah, that's crazy. Because I know in Africa and Tanzania, I think there's people that have gone against that president out there, and they end up missing. So I'm trying to figure out how is Elon allowed to kind of live, I mean, he did get punched in the eye, but I heard that was just an Illuminati ritual, so I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing about it, remember, everything is not as it seemed to be. There is something behind it, and we call it window dressing or food in the public, flim flam in the public. They got you looking at one thing when that thing there's a whole other thing took place. Did not Trump say when he go in office, he gonna end the war in Ukraine at the first day in? Has it ended yet? Who's pulling this string? Who's pulling Trump's string? And then I ask people, now you can pull it up now, it's called when the 1871 Constitution came in, it got rid of habeas corpus. It took all that away. So right now they got a free hand. Now if they're going to go in and get rid of the penalty because it's too expensive to make. They're going and devaluing a lot of currency. They're devaluing a lot of this. But right now, they're building more and more nuclear plants and recycling plants around the country to empower AI. Who's behind the AI? This other government did not. If you can go back to the country thing, and you probably wasn't around then, when Reagan was in office, and they brought in the guy's name, he's a senator now. And they wanted to, he said, there's a government that you know not of. Even the president don't know what it is. And this is now something, I think the guy's name was charged with the Contra deal. They were trading guns for drugs because those drugs wound up in a lot of black communities to caused a confusion among a lot of the gangs and things. Oliver North, his name was Oliver North. Do you remember the story of Oliver North? And he told him at the committee meeting that there is a government that even the president do not know of.
That's what he said. Yeah.
And this is it. This
I mean,
is it.
it seems
Okay,
like
you can call it
that
what you want.
Elon that whole thing was almost like an infiltration. Because I said, how is it that our president can allow somebody from South Africa that's not even a citizen to get control of so much of our personal assets? You know, and we know that he's into the tech world. So, like that to me was just a breach. You know, because he didn't have to be sworn in or nothing like that. He was just a regular like business person. So to allow him to have that much access to everybody's information and data, and then you see how he got mad, and now he's like spilling the beans supposedly. You know, oh, Trump was at the
and he was
I'm
saying
like,
the other day that
everybody knows
had
that.
not been for him, Trump couldn't have done. And so all this money, but then you look at even though they keep saying that he's the richest man in the world, but remember his riches is built on rice paper. Start snatching these government contracts out and shutting them down, and he's no longer rich because he built his wealth off of government contracts. So Trump is talking about taking away his contracts. Musk is talking about declassifying SpaceX. Decommissioning SpaceX. So it's a bad love affair going bad, and it's going to affect the system because there's so much emphasis been put on Elon Musk and Trump. You know, now all of a sudden the whole deal gone south. It's a bad relationship. And you know, in the old African proverbs, when elephants fight, ants die. Who gonna suffer the most? The citizens. Elon Musk the other day, all politicians need to go back that voted for Trump. They need to be fired. I mean, it's a big thing. But what's the real deal behind all of this commotion? When the dust settles, you're going to see. They call conspiracy all they want to, but we've been following this thing for the past 20, 25 years. The group we have in Dallas, the think tank, you know, and we was talking about it today. And we're seeing it played out now. The executive orders, the what you call it, these not only the 11 executive order, but the federal papers. What's all in it? And then, like you said earlier, Goddess, this man was entitled, was given privilege to get to all of our data. He had 20-year-old thing doing without top clearances. And you know, in the military, you got to get a clearance, security clearance. You had to get it. I had to get it. I know you had to get it. I know I had it when I was as being a part of the security force and the police department and the Air Force. We had to go for, in order to get my security, they had to do a complete background check. Likewise with you. Anybody in the service. So how this man come in? Did Elon Musk security check a certification? The man walked in through the back door straight to the Oval Office.
So Paul Wood says the Spanish fake, they did the same thing with Sessions. So what did they do with Sessions? They allowed him to come in and he didn't have a security clearance?
Yep.
I don't know. I think this is a little bit more diabolical because he's not even from the United States. And so he could have been infiltrated. You never know. He could be a spy, anything, you know. So I think it's crazy that they just allowed him access to all this stuff. Even if this is a fake spat, I think that's kind of, notice how Democrats are pushing for the files.
You know, and all of a sudden now, let's look at, and if you check out President Trump's history, his business dealing, the man is not a honest businessman. You know, him and Putin was into it about building a hotel and bank over in Moscow. You know, and he borrowed so much money from him way back during the first election. Then they come back trying to build something in Saudi Arabia. you know, and so forth and so on. All this is a part of what he's being uh, told to do or led to do or informed that you must do. He is really a distraction, all because he's in the news more than anybody. And while he's hot in the news, things are going on. I thought was very, we talking about it was very strange. The whole time that, now check this out, when Shadora Sanders got in the news and get all the news, did not Trump insert himself in? Talking about if y'all don't go in and draft, I'm going to start my football team up and I'm going to draft him. That team ain't played since Herschel Walker, the New Jersey General, and they wouldn't let Trump in the AFL. I mean, AFL then.
Yeah, I think that is crazy. I think it also might be a situation with the Diddy trial that they might be trying to have a fake beef to like take the attention off of the Diddy trial, because this Diddy trial is getting really like it's all over the place, and I know that if they get too deep into what, because Trump said that he would pardon Diddy, you know what I'm saying? So I think that it's crazy that these black artists are really beginning to have such of a influence on the government, where you got the president. There's like a question on whether or not he's going to pardon Diddy, so I think that's how serious that even this case is, that it's, because I believe that if he gets life in prison, that's going to set a precedent, and all those people that was in the back in the day doing freaky stuff with these young girls, and all these girls come out and start filing criminal lawsuits, that mean they can go to prison too. So that's what I'm saying, like, especially in New York, because if they're able to arrest Diddy, then they're going to be able to go after a lot of people after that. That he's going to set like a precedent. So they got to like move the media to another subject. You know what I'm saying? And try to get him out the main media news, and let get people to forget about that, focus on this, so that they could probably get him off of that situation. That's what I think. I think it's like a wag the dog. To focus over here, so we can be slick over there.
Because a lot of people they're not thinking, they're running on the emotion, they're getting all hype. And like Musk said, he's gonna drop the bomb because Trump is in the what's his name, Weinstein files. Why they don't want to bring it to the front with all these freaky parties and things. But remember, this is all a part of the plan to take over while we're chasing all these emotions. These governments behind the wall is already taken over, already in control. And these families, like you named off, this is a legacy money. This is old money. This money been operating a long time. It ain't something they created yesterday. And these governments do this. Matter of fact, if you go through the list of Bilderberg, the Trilateral Commission, the Council of Foreign Relations, and then you got the group called the Boulets, the black group called the Boulets, which Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton are members of. All this stuff is in the case. And I know we understand that. And the way if you pull, they exist because there's data about them out there. I was with Jesse in '88. I was at the Democratic convention when him and whatever name was running, and they took Jesse in the back room. This committee did, and told Jesse, "You want you to concede to whatever the guy's name was. If you don't concede, then we're going to charge you with the $4 million that you stole from Rainbow Coalition." At that time, Ann Richards was the governor of Texas. I'm there. We're all down in Atlanta there. Myself, Jose Williams, Andy Young, Dr. Lawrence, and the list goes on. Ralph Abernathy. We're all there and waiting on Jesse to come out to announce his acceptance to run. We've been there already campaigning all over the country. I was a surrogate in the group. I know what I'm talking about. We all up in Alabama, all up in Louisiana, Georgia, Tennessee, West Virginia. We're all over the place. And when we got to the convention in Atlanta that year, waiting on Jesse to come out, and because he had the votes. Jesse had the votes. At the same time, there was a lady named Dr. Lonnie out of New York. Did you know about her, goddess?
Say what's the name again? Doctor what?
Dr. Polani out of New York. I think it might be Felicia out of New York. Pull up Dr. Polani. She ran in '88 under the Green Party. This is how I found about all these different hidden governments. Because we was in these meetings.
I don't really know how to spell her name.
She ran for president in 1988.
Fulani, okay.
Felicia Fulani,
Lenora Fulani.
Lenora Fulani. Yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
And we all met. That's her. That's her. And
okay.
she had an office also in Dallas out there. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't see nothing.
She had an office out there on Central Highway in Dallas, out there near what is that? Not Markenberg, but what's it at? Lovers Lane? No. She was near town, but it's a 2-story building. Her office was out there, and we would meet regularly. And she was trying to get things. She said, "Well, I'm gonna get with Jesse, and we're gonna run a 2-road party. It's gonna be the high road and low road party to pull this thing off." And it was working good until this white group came in and had a sit down in the back room. When they came out the back room, everything had changed.
So they just came. What y'all was having like a rally?
No, but you have those strategy meetings because you're looking at you're reading your opponent, you find the weakness, what's going to be down there, and in doing so, it's like going to executive session. We all had to leave out while this group they came in. When they sat down and talked to Jesse, when they came out, they had flipped Jesse. Then they flipped her.
What?
Yeah.
What do you think it was? Who do you think it was? Was it like the mob or like who was it?
None of these are your political people. I'm trying to what you call them back then, but their job is to go in. They're almost like a lobbyist or whatever. They go in and they sit down and they're over a lot of these political parties, like we got this thing called the DSCC, the Democratic Party, and national wise, right, all over, and they sit and they raise money for candidates, or they get things that they want done. We're going through a lot of stuff now in Louisiana about House Bill 244. This was where Governor Landry now. Landry is Trump 2.0 in Louisiana. He already started cutting funding for education. He's cutting everywhere. And other day, her name is Julia Letlow. She was one that hoped Trump bill to pass because it was 214, and she voted, her vote went at 215, and it passed by 1 vote. That's the one Elon is raising hell about. But the lady that got it to pass is from Star, Louisiana, right next to where I live.
So did Elon did Elon want to block the bill for that meta thing being built?
Yes, he said it. Yes. And not only that, we had a lot of folks here saying it's a bad bill. Well, when they met Monday, it's called Senate Bill 244. A lot of the so-called representatives, even black, they were put in the corner. They voted for them. They know it's a bad bill. Even the senators say it's a bad bill. And the sad thing about it, they don't care what the people want. They don't know what these party heads are doing, the oligarchs are doing, just saying. And that's who's running this thing under this hidden government.
So
And
who
you
is
all
paying?
the time
Who is
heard
going to pay the $10 billion though? Where's that $10 billion coming from? I'm trying to understand if they have the
that $10
one big.
billion, the $10 billion AI plant over in Holly Ridge, Louisiana. That is what's his name?
Who's
Mark
paying for that?
Zuckerberg.
So is he
Mark
paying for that,
Zuckerberg,
or is the government paying for
who
that?
I can't say
A
collaboration between them and the
collaboration.
government.
Wow. So a $10 billion.
Collaboration.
So you got Elon
10
Musk and
billion,
them.
and not even that.
They just closed down Job Corps all over the country, and then now we're gonna like take that money from all these little kids that they just got finished making them without a job or a home and everything like that, and funnel it over to
Put them out
Meta
on
to
the
build an
street.
AI plant.
Yeah, they put them on the street. Told them to get their little garbage bags and put them out without a word of warning. And see, and other day, House Bill 214, they're coming in now to build sub-nuclear reactors that runs off the recycled waste of the nuclear plant, because AI is going to require a lot of water and a lot of energy. It's going to almost bust the electric grid that we have. All this is a part of this new world order. Control the utilities, control the water. So now the government would have right. It's called eminent domain to come into any time, and not just Louisiana. In every state that they got this law passed, take land from the citizens and get the mineral rights to build these things. They're saying that the council rate is going to go through the roof.
I'm trying to understand why would a people want to just like okay? Do they just they can't be human because human
Whoa!
beings
You just
human.
you just hit the nail on the head. Thank you, ancestors. Anybody that was born after 1960, there's a thing called the uh 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 uh, uh incubator babies. You heard about them?
Yeah, I heard about incubator babies. Yeah,
These now become known as the what? Test tube.
test
They
tube
are
baby. Yeah.
all over the world now. They got children and grandchildren. They have no soul. They look like but they do not have what we have. And that's your clone people that's in charge. You keep saying that Trump is a clone. They keep saying Musk is a clone. These ain't the same. They don't ever look at them twice to say they don't stay consistent.
Mm.
All this is a part of this government thing. Oh, that's a science fiction me. But they started in 57 or 58 doing test tube babies. It graduated from test tube babies to what they call not incubators. From incubator to test tube to cloning. Even a lot of the food we eating now is clone food. It's clone meat. It's clone this.
Hey, balance touch. Yeah. So I mean, I think yeah, because I'm thinking to myself, why would it would have to be a certain type of a human that does not care about other human life? I mean, or life on Earth as we at all to care so much more about AI. It's almost like we're getting the Earth ready for some other like alien creatures to come on the Earth. Like they like look, we listen, we're gonna be coming here, so we need to have all these AI plants and you need to have all this nuclear power to like because my thing is if they kill all the water and only supply the AI with all of the resources, then how are we gonna survive? And I'm
That's gonna
sure
be
they
the
can't
battle.
and I'm sure they can't use
That's
like
gonna be the
seawater.
battle.
They're probably like, oh, it
I mean,
has
that's
to be
gonna be the
fresh
battle.
water. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, that's gonna be the battle, and that's what we're talking about right now. That's the big push, is to get the resources. Everywhere this country's going, they're going and not for that. They're going for the minerals and the resources in order to power this new age, this new technology with the AI running it. The Matrix is only introduction, but this thing is real, really real.
I'm trying to figure out
Yeah.
if you're saying that it damn near might control the grid, it might destroy the grid. And you know what? In every movie they have this.
It's already good.
Every single
So
movie they have.
we're having blackouts now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We are having blackouts now because it's overloading the grid. Texas, they want, and they don't have enough coming in. We had a blackout last night.
Really?
All right. Yeah.
And do you think it's because they're trying to kick?
It's gonna be more and more blackouts.
They're trying to kick off this AI thing, trying to because everybody wants to win the AI race.
Well, what's going to happen next, citizens and brothers? They're going to limit how much time you can have your lights on.
Well, you know what? Now they're pushing the solar energy right now. They're pushing solar really hard. They're trying to push. Yeah, because I just got solar panels, and I was told
solar to try to keep. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was saying
the thing they push it, try to keep some sense of life, but they knowing that that's no way because they can block out the sun and your solar panel ain't gonna work.
Right. Yeah, if it starts raining and snowing and thundering. Yeah.
Baby, and once that battery go down and it's down for a period of time, you're gonna still be suffering. I know this sounds crazy to a lot of people, but you need to realize what's going on. And it's all there, it's in the prophecy of Shem, the thesis of Shem, in the book called the Pseudepigrapha. I sent it out when we had the solar eclipse. Back we had the solar eclipse, and it fell in the month of Ogun.
Yeah,
and that was the prediction, from that particular solar eclipse. And we've been getting uploads.
I think that these people, I think that they are either getting the earth ready for I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of creatures or somebody telling them, listen, we need to get on nuclear power. We need to AI needs to be controlled. The new government, we gave you your time. You know what I'm saying? They probably listen, we allowed you guys to rule. Now we have to take back over. There's some kind of strange thing going on where it's we've always.
I've been hearing podcasts. I
probably sound schizophrenic, but I'm bro, something is up. Because to want to get rid of everybody, to kill a certain amount of people and only want a certain amount of people on the earth, it's that does not sound like a human being.
Sister Veronica, that was one of the things with Iron Mountain. They got to depopulate the earth, so many millions of people. And that's already in the plan. And then other than that, I'm listening to one of the podcasts, and they was talking about the Anunnakis getting to come back, who's supposed to be the demigods or the gods of this particular realm.
See, that's what I'm saying. Something sounds crazy. Listen, Bill Gates, that they're coming out with all these viruses and stuff, trying to kill people off. So that why does it bother these people that there's an X amount of people on the earth? What makes it so that when you get $1 billion, all of a sudden you start worrying about how many people are on the earth? You know what I'm saying? You start worrying about shit that don't even have nothing to do with
resources.
Who's running
out of resources?
Who is that?
And that's why I was telling you the other day about this.
The companies are running out of resources for their big, huge corporations because they're using up all the resources. They're trying to blame it on us, we're taking over all the resources, but the companies are resource hogs because they don't care about the government, about the environment, because they'll people, right. Right. So if anybody's running out of resources, it's the corporations, the oligarchs that are running the corporations. So they're so rather than them shaving down the way that their companies are running, they're going to say, oh, we need less people. That's crazy to me.
And that, matter of fact, that's the theme in Independence Day with Will Smith about the alien deal coming in at Sector 51. Out there, you know, you look back at it, they was coming looking for resources. And the guy said, we're going to take and kill all y'all. We're coming for the resources. Every move we saw, even in Terminator, coming after the resources. Coming after the resources. And though they're playing it out as science fiction, it's playing out real in the real world. The new Green Deal, clean energy, all of this is going on, sustainable energy. And that's the fight now in Louisiana, sustainable energy. How we going to make it?
You know what? You know who else is really slick? It is the slickest one of them all. Is how Bill Gates went from being the Microsoft vice president to now he's a philanthropist. He quit and retired, and then got involved with vaccines and that world. I'm like, Howard, you're not even a medical professional. So to me, it seems like there is something when you say a hidden government, an unseen government. I think it's some kind of a life form that we're unaware of, that people are in touch with, that we're getting this earth ready for. It sounds crazy, but I'm just saying, because all this stuff we don't need. Crazy. The things that that are happening this rapid. It's almost like where we have to hurry up and advance so that we can be ready for when whoever these people are going to come to this earth. Like it's like I think it's going to be kind of a.
There is a mindset. There is a mindset intelligence out there that's got this thing speeded up, and it's not working within us, working outside us, feeding into us.
Yeah.
I listen.
It's making us have to evolve very quickly. Because have you noticed that everything is happening so fast? I mean, and you've been on this earth 79 years. Is this right? Has things been speeding up in your life? I mean,
we've noticed it. Yes, ma'am. I'm not just saying it. We've noticed it. With all this, what's going on in time change and how they're changing generations, etc. It's steady speeding up. Then they said they have the earth have speeded up in the last what it says 2,100 years. Now it's speeding up. It's speeding up some more. Why is it speeding up?
So the rotations are speeding up. But also, I think that as humans are speeding up, it's almost like, and I don't know whether we're evolving or whether we're devolving. You know what I'm saying? Because
no, I think, but the thing about it is, and I love about Ifa says, there's a real resurgence of old spirits coming back to the earth, and these old spirits are coming back with they call it karma. They're coming back with a different agenda. And they're coming back, and they're coming back with full force. Children now being born, they're not waiting to cry. They come here crying. They come here with their fists balled. They come here angry. Well, then we got people out here now that has no soul. We were talking this morning with Maher El and Andrew in the Black's Law Dictionary, Volume 2, under human being. It says monster. It ain't because don't call me human being, because the definition fits what you're talking about. No soul, and a whole list of stuff. And Black's Law Dictionary, second edition. Like, damn.
Right.
Those was going, but the public, because we're so involved in emotions, it running right by us. So it's getting by us. And it's subliminally going to the subconscious mind, like you're saying. Now I know we're saying, so well, that's a bunch of bullshit. Keep living, keep looking around. This stuff is happening so fast. Time you blink your eyes, another change.
I'm sure. And then here's the thing: have you also noticed even that Hollywood's about to? It's almost like Hollywood's on hiatus. I mean, they'll come out with a movie every once in a while, but remember Hollywood? The movies was everything, right? When a new movie would come out, it was a big deal, right? And now you don't like there was something releasing every other like summertime. There's a big release. Now it's almost like Hollywood is kind of slowing down because I think that they had to like switch up who has control of the minds, and Hollywood was at once in control, and so now it seems like they've like slowed down on all of Hollywood stuff. now the veil is coming off on all the actors and all the people that were in Hollywood.
Well,
And
they don't
like,
need Hollywood now. We got all these live streaming platforms.
right.
You know, I'm sitting at the house last night, and what comes on? What comes on Netflix? Sinners comes on
Yeah.
Netflix last night. I'm telling you, what?
It was on Netflix.
So now, huh?
It was on
It was on
Netflix.
Netflix last night.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I watched the whole thing on Netflix last night.
That was
Sinners.
fast. That was
You
fast.
tell me.
Normally, it's that's quick. That was quick.
It normally takes several months before you can leave the theater and get into the other thing. It was, baby girl, it was on Netflix last night. Okay.
Okay, if you believe in this shit, you're doomed. So what do you believe in? What do you believe? You probably believe in Jesus that's coming back. You know what I'm saying?
Who
Not to
that?
sound, you know, no offense,
But no, but
honey.
check
I
this
think I
out.
think it's a chance that there's aliens coming back before I think that Jesus coming back. I'm sorry.
Nobody named Jesus. Nobody named Jesus coming back. Trust me.
unless somebody is a new dude, a person that they
Well, you
come
know
back from
what? You know
show
what?
and my
You
mama
know
named
what?
it.
You know what, Sister Monica? Even
Why?
in the Bible, that they read it, he told them that. Now check this out. Over 2,000 years ago, as him and the disciples talking, he said, "There'll be those that standing here now that hear my voice will not taste of death until the Son of Man come back." That's over 2,000 years ago. It's in the book. So what's the hold up?
Right.
It's in there, says there'll be those sitting here that will not taste of death until the Son of Man come back. Name somebody 2,000 years old around here.
Maybe they are vampires and maybe they live underneath the ground. Maybe that's the one controlling things.
Oh,
They like some
oh, you know
aliens
what?
that he talked of. They was aliens and they
I
really
don't know.
they like
Look, last night watching Sinners, I don't know if they've been watching it, but them vampires in there, do you know what they represent? See, everybody talking
what
about this, that, and other,
the
but a
draconians.
lot of folks miss how these vampires who look like came in and to feed on the people. What did the vampires say? Man, they was dropping some heavy shit last night. I'm going like, oh no, they didn't. They was talking about this government. They represent this government, how it's going to eat people up to put them under one mindset. I got that from the movie. No matter how they tried and they was throwing the bones and they were doing this and they went through all the cultures had a snippet in that movie. And all of a sudden, and these Celtic people, Scottish vampire shows up. First was the Choctaw Indian was chasing them, trying to catch them because they was on loose. You get to look at the whole thing. The movie is deeper than most folks think it is. Got a lot of stuff in it. I mean, where did Michael B. Jordan get this stuff from?
Right. What Michael B. Jordan? It was a director. What's his name? Ryan Coogler.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm like, but who wrote it? Who wrote it? I think it's the
yeah,
CIA.
right.
Listen, I'm sorry. I be thinking it's the
like,
CIA. The government be behind these movies. I don't think it's. There might be writers, but I think that there's like a government section that like before you come out with a movie, you know, because how do you have this idea and why? How does it get funded? How do you get the money to put together a movie like this? That's any of these movies. Like some of these movies are so astronomical, like technology looking wise. Like it's like, dude, where did you even come up with the ability to even fake the fake technology? And who thought of it? Who thought, well, yeah, like before there was even a touch screen, they already had touch screens in movies back in 1995, bro. When I was like a kid in high school, Vanilla Sky showed a touch screen. You know what I'm saying? It was a touch screen desk. And they don't even really have the touch screen desk like that out right now because they've moved it into a cell phone. But I remember there was one point, it was called Microsoft Surface, that they were fixing to have everything going to be touch screen. when you went to McDonald's, you'd be able to put your phone down on the counter and it would take the money off of the phone and pay. Now they might have that in like Japan, but they don't have that in the United States. So
Why
this was in
Japan?
1995. I don't know
Yeah.
why Japan is way ahead. Japan and China and a lot of these Asian countries are way ahead of us in technology, like for everyday people. They're way ahead of
Now
us.
remember, now remember, it was Japan that got bombed by America during the war. Hiroshima and Nagasaki with the nuclear bomb, right?
Hmm.
And everything was destroyed and was destroyed for almost 20 years. They had 20 years that America has to protect and take care of them while they develop their technology.
Mm.
The contract was you come in and now you destroyed it, you got to rebuild us back.
Which
And
is
you got to protect
crazy.
us.
Why does that come on now? How where does that happen? What is going on with that? So if I get in a fight with you and I mess up your house, now I gotta come back and fix your house.
You got to rebuild it.
So
You got
what's
to
the hell
rebuild it.
what was the purpose of blowing it up in the first place then?
Check it out. I'm going like what the agreement was. Now that y'all destroyed our country, killed 20 something million people, you got to protect us. And 20 years gone by, that's why they're here. And guess who America owes the most money to? Japan, $1.1 trillion. But we conquered
Wow.
you. How am I owing you and I conquered you? No,
You
no,
know the
no.
same thing that happened with Haiti. Didn't Haiti conquer the French
Yeah,
and get their independence, and then the French turned around and said, "Well, you owe us
made you
now."
pay
What?
reparations.
What
Made
the
you pay
hell? Like,
reparations.
where?
a
Who
hundred
comes up with
years.
this? Based on what? Like, if we beat you, we'll keep beating you. France is smaller than Haiti. Like, were they? I mean, what was they able to hold over their head to say? You know what? If you guys don't pay us every month, to what is it to keep your freedom to like stay free, or we're gonna have
One
everybody
of
else
the
come after you?
one of the one of the Haitian people said when it went down, they took over the hospitals, the education, and things that they needed, and said if you don't, we're gonna take all of these things away from you. So
Oh,
they gave in for because they were controlling the destiny of the country. He that controls your paycheck controls your destiny. He that controls your information controls your destiny. And that's how
mm,
they got it. Our
mm.
problem is we don't protect the things that we fight. We don't protect our rear. We don't put
You
the
know what's so
faith
stupid is
protect the
that
things
we
that.
didn't need them hospitals anyway. We could have stayed herbal and natural. See, that's the
Yeah,
thing. They
yeah.
sell us artificial stuff and say, "Oh, you need this." It's like I don't have to
Yeah.
be in part of your school. Remember, we had that whole civil rights movement because we wanted to go to school with the white people. We wanted to have integration, and then now,
We were
and try to, so we can go to school hand in hand with the white people. And now you see that it's still segregated. Even if we go to school, there's a black neighborhood school, white neighborhood school. They give more money to
Sister
the
Monica,
other neighborhoods based on the tax
Sister,
bracket. It's like it's all a bullshit.
Sister Monica, we never wanted to go to school with them. All we want was equal opportunity when we step in the room to be a level playing field. They tricked us into this thing because they found out that it was better to help us in there for wealth. When they started this thing called integration, most Negroes had never heard of the word integration. You know what it really meant. At that time, we came to SCLC. It was called the Poor People's March, not about segregation. And what we was fighting for then, back then with Dr. King and Abernathy, our fight was to establish a level playing ground. So we walk in, you wouldn't judge me by my color of my skin, but by the content of my character. It had nothing about sitting down, sleeping, eating with white folks. We already was out doing them. Because every time we built anything, they burned it down or they started a lie. They
So
would start a lie.
who made it about that integration? Who started that whole thing? Was that Martin Luther King
They
or
dropped
somebody
that
else?
thing. They dropped that thing on Jesse and the group because most people, if you understand integration, when you integrate two circuits, there's got to be an adapter from a 110 to a 220. Something has to be the adapter. They never taught us what it meant. We thought it was a good thing, we're gonna get better books, we're gonna get this, and we got to work, and we had to sell out everything just to go across town. And a lot of us forced to go across town. No, I don't know of no black school that went willingly. They were forced by the school boards and by these different ones, the oligarchs, to go because it was about the money.
Wait, they were
The
forced, so they
money,
had their
the
own
money
schools
follows the
in the
children. Huh?
neighborhood, and they forced them to go to the integrated school. So
Yeah.
they
We
passed
look, we
a
had our
law.
own everything. Whenever
Mhm.
you, and the thing back in the day, because I lived through it, you had doctors and lawyers and things live next door to you. They wasn't across town. My doctor lived next door. Doctor all lived next door. I could walk across my yard to his house. Lawyers and the kids could see these things in the community. Integration came, they moved all of that stuff out.
What they made the
Then you took
doctors
the
go, they
school.
had to go to the hospital. You couldn't, in
Yeah,
order to like.
look, you can't go there. You can't. You had to close down your sanitarium and agree to work under some white boy out there, and you was not considered
Wow,
equal. You had to go. It had to get their approval.
wow.
I mean, I lived through all of this when they had the water fountain. But I'm talking about how this government works. If they see that they can benefit, then they use you as a stepping stone for their benefit and not yours. Integration was a trick word that they put on us because we did not understand it. We was never educated what the word really meant and how and what it looked like when it was put in use. We went on our emotions and not on common sense.
So do you think
We
that?
gave
Do
up
you think
everything.
that? Do you think that we wanted integration, or do you think that that was a government thing that they use people
It
to?
was a government thing. It has nothing to do with what the people want. This was a political move for control. We were doing too much too fast too soon. Everything we touched, we was excelling in it, and they couldn't handle it. Look at things from the 50s and 60s. Look at what kind of mindset we had.
I heard that even Lake Lanier, that town that it like.
Oh baby, they took a whole town and flooded it because the folks didn't want to give in. Central Park in New York, and the list goes on. Richwood, that place in South Carolina, all
I heard they
Louisiana,
did the same thing. Black Bottom. That whole thing about that the riots of Detroit. That whole
yeah.
thing. The reason why they got rid of that whole area because that was a well-to-do black area. All the black people stayed there, and then they wanted to turn that into a highway, and they put a whole highway through that area called Lyndon B. Johnson Freeway.
Didn't they do it in Dallas? Didn't they do it in Dallas?
Yeah.
They did. They took out a whole black neighborhood in Dallas and built that freeway right through there. And they had to move that cemetery because they had to move all those black bodies over there, so they could go through that. They moved Munger Avenue Church to another location to put that highway through there. It's called eminent domain.
So what? So what? So you think it's because of the fact that the black community during that time was beginning to have a political power? Because even if you think about like even the stock market, Black Wall Street was the black stock market, right? But now, if you think about it, like we don't have any control of our dollar anymore. Like you know how like people
And
they're
that's the
trying to
problem.
say, yeah. Mm.
Suppose I would tell you that the whole thing around the Civil War was about the black dollar and the white dollar. Had nothing to do with slavery.
Really?
Nothing to do with slavery. And why did all those black men in the South fight against the North trying to save them plantations? It was about slavery. Huh?
It was about
You
the
had
black
rich,
dollar.
you had black men, you had black men were so rich that the white people were borrowing money from black folks. We were feeding them. Even they were loaning money to the governors. What happened to that black legislative body in Louisiana in 1868 that ran all of Louisiana until the Klan came in and ran them out of the military force?
So was the Klan really like? So the Klan actually was not about being racist. It was really about economic power and black. They don't like the fact that.
No, it was about political power shift. If you was a Republican, the Dixiecrats or Democrats would take your ass out. A lot of folks never heard of a group called the Fusion Party. Had you ever heard of them?
No, the fusion.
Yeah, type in Fusion Political Party. Pull them up. Anybody know? Because one time the Democrat Republic was one party, but but so many blacks was running things and was controlling it, they had to get them out of office. So the next thing is they create a thing called the Fusion Party. Will you please pull up that hidden government? Pull up the Fusion Party. And most people never heard of it.
So the Fusion Party, the Fusion Party was the original name of the Republican Party in the state of Ohio. In 1854, anti-slavery parties were forming in many northern states in opposition to the Kansas-Nebraska Act of 1854. While many of these states' parties adopted the name Republican, the Ohio Convention adopted the name Fusionist or Fusion Party, which they felt more accurately described the fusion of persons from a variety of political backgrounds, including members of the Free Soul Party, the Conscious Whig Party, and the Know Nothing Party, and members of the Democratic Party who were opposed to slavery. So they had, so the Fusion Party of South Dakota. So this is a whole thing, so you guys should check out. So the Fusion Party, it started to spread, and then and all those.
Yeah, and that's because too many black folk was running things back during that time. We got to get the power out of the niggas' hands.
So that's what it really was about. So now you have
that was power. It had nothing to do about it. Was a thank you. Nothing to do about what they told us in the school book. Lincoln gave a damn about no thing. He said, if I could keep the union together without freeing the slave, I would do it. But seeing that I can't, let's do this. Then the Fusion Party came on because they were trying to get a lot of the blacks out of politics. There is J. Rogers' Nature Knows No Color line. The 100 amazing facts about the Negro, Africa's gift to America, and then there's another one. There's many books out there. There was the Black Slave Owners, White Cargo. Then it goes back to tell you that it was the black men. Many of them was already, Sister Monica, running the country. There's a guy by the name of Dave Barton. You ever heard of him?
Nope.
Dave Barton. Hope you can see this. Name is Dave Barton.
David Barton. Yep. We can see
Here's the book.
In black and white by Dave Barton.
Yeah. It's setting the record straight of America. It's in black and white. David Barton. He named all these black political figures in the country. Do you know that what is that? Texas Tech? I mean, not Tech, but that was it A&M out of College Station? Was founded by a black man?
No.
You knew that, right?
No, I didn't know that. Texas A&M? Nope.
Because it was founded under agriculture. A black man founded A&M.
Wow. Sorry, y'all. I'm crunching. That's crazy. I heard there's a few schools that are like that though, where you would think it was almost. There's a few schools in America that was started by black people. It's a few universities.
Yes.
And I think James Calloway mentioned it, a history they want to hide. Did you hear also now they're trying to say that Harriet Tubman was a spy? That the story of Harriet Tubman.
But did you know that she actually was a pullman on the railroad?
No. What does that mean?
Pullman? She worked on the railroad. That's why she knew at the railroad. She was a pullman on the railroad.
So she wasn't a slave. She was a freed person?
She worked on the railroad. I don't know all the ins and outs on it because they said it was spy. You had a lot of black spies back then when we were making movements. Some lived inside I'm talking black. Look up the spy that lived in John Davis's house, Jefferson Davis's house. I mean, what's his name? President, because Jefferson Davis was the president of the South. That was a black left. I'm thinking her name Bessie something. She worked and she would tell the North what was going on in the South. But a lot of people don't know that now this is, and I need my hair for this. Oh man, with this today, that why was there so many black men fighting against the Union trying to save the plantations?
I don't know.
Okay, there's a guy by the name of William April Ellis, one of the richest men in South Carolina. He bought war bonds, black man, bought war bonds to support the Confederate against the North to protect his plantation. How many blacks own plantations in the South? I live in Tallulah, and there's a guy here named Henry Lux owned a plantation in Louisiana, right where I am.
Right.
There were many blacks that owned plantations.
Right.
They don't tell us that. The thing is, you poor Negroes, we done y'all wrong, y'all just. That is not the case. The first slaves in this country were white. They were Irish and Scottish. We bought them. What's his name? Oh, the guy's name is Henry Act 13, 17. Henry's Act 13, Virginia Act 13, that no Negro or mulatto could continue to buy white or white Christians for slave, white Christian meant white Caucasian.
So they actually had a whole a law they had to come out with because we were buying black people were buying slaves.
Yes, let me try to find that for you. Yeah, it's called Henry Statute.
Let me get this book. yes, and see exactly. And here's another thing: is I think that there's an actual history. I think even before, because when we think about the white people coming over here, we think of them coming over here, and there's a bunch of mud huts. Everybody's like, dancing around fires and with teepees and stuff like that. But when these people came over to America, they did not come over to building to a place that did not have any structure or buildings and stuff like that. They act like they came over to America and it was just nothing here. There were buildings here. When they came to America, there were buildings here. Some of these buildings that they're pretending like they built, I saw one video on I don't know, it was something, and they were trying to show how these people were trying to pretend like I think it was the Ford building in Detroit. And there used to be this huge eagle or something like on top of it, and they were pretending like they were building it and stuff. And you should have seen these little hammers. They were pretending like they were hammering it. And it's like, bro, what is that? You know what I'm saying? What are y'all faking? Like, let me see if I can find that video. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that. But yeah, it's like they there's a lot of fake stuff going on that, I'm still looking into. I wish I could really, I'm trying to, I'm going to find, here's that video right here. Let me see something.
I apologize. It go to my library to get the book.
I'm gonna show y'all this. It's I told y'all they ain't build SHIT. It's funny. Hold on, let me see. Now, I'm not sure if y'all can see this because since we're on like the cell phone setting. Y'all see this? I'm going to cut that off because got the music or whatever. But this is them supposedly building stuff and building these skyscrapers and stuff. But it's like, no, these things always been there. So this is the Chrysler building, okay, they did not build the Chrysler building. Okay, this is like an
Uh,
old video where they're trying to pretend like they built this building and they're working on it and stuff like this. But look at what they're doing. What is this? Look at the hammers where they pretending like they hammering something. What are they doing? What is this? What is that? Or what are they doing? That come on now. That's a iron, whatever the hell that is, and he's using that little hammer to do what? And then you see down here that this is like the ground is in black and white, and this is in color. So this is like a fake. This is like a Hollywood. This is almost like when they said they was walking on the moon. You know what I'm saying? A Hollywood depiction to pretend like they was up there building and working on something. You see, and they're using these fake little mallets to do what with, you know? And this is them supposedly back in the day working on the top of this building. See this? This is supposed to be them, whatever they're supposed to be doing, and then they're cleaning off for some reason. Why I don't even know why they're. It's a bunch of nonsense, it's lies. So there's so much lying going on that you can't trust the video that you've seen back in the day. None of that. This is they colorized this video from back in the days or whatever, where they pretend like they wiping off a building or whatever. So, and this is not AI. These is like old videos from when they were supposedly actually working on these big, tall buildings out in Detroit and stuff like that. This used to that big of a building. This stuff. Look at how this thing is shaped. Why would they even shape it like that? You know what I'm saying? There was something way more to all the designs and everything they were using. So, anyways, yeah, I just wanted to show y'all that. I'm not sure if you can see it and stuff like that, but
yeah. But I'm back now, Sister Monica. Virginia Slave Code of 1705. This document record is this is Henning Statute 5 and the Virginia Slave Code 1705. The Virginia Slave Code 1705 provided that no Negro, mulatto, Indian, although Christians or Jews, such as Muhammad or any infidel, shall at any time purchase any Christian, which means white folks or persons, nor any other except for their own complexion, and such are declared as slaves, etc. This is Virginia Slave Code 1705, Henry Statute, Chapter 13.
crazy.
Huh?
I said that's crazy.
J.A. Rogers' book. J.A. Rogers' book. That was my book, The Other Side of Slave Down to Story. I got it all laid out in that book. This is by J.A. Rogers, a noted black scholar back in the day. J.A. Rogers, page 35, slavery. I gotta get this. I can't get my other camera, but anyway, it reads as follows. Act 5, Law of Virginia Code, October 1670 reads, no Negro or Indian, though baptized and enjoy their own freedom, shall be capable of any such person of white, non-Christian, but yet not debarred from buying any of their own kind. Henning's record, volume 2, page 281.
So check this out. So what does that say? That we weren't Christian either?
No. Christian mean white. Christian mean white folks. That's something Negroes started wearing. Because we named them Christians, because the word Christian is a byword from the word Cretan, which means you're a leopard, you're sick, and you're an idiot. You're a nincompoop. Wow. That is not a word. That was a byword to those people from the land of Crete. Leprosy. The next is Act 9, October 1748. No Negro, mulatto, or Indian, although a Christian or Jew, Moor, Muhammad, shall purchase any Christian white servants. Henry Statute volume 5, page 50. Statute of Louisiana, chapter 91, section 13, section 12, March 20, 1818, forbid the same. It was not in the fact until the year of 1818 that the legislation of Louisiana found itself calling upon a notice of frequent, which were free people of color buying white folks.
So I wanted to go get a little bit into, those ancient civilizations that existed before in America, because we had a conversation on Sonetter, and I'm tearing this ice up, y'all. And they were actually asking you about the mound civilization, and remember they were asking you about that map, and they were like, "Well, I want to see the map," and this, that, the other. And you said that you found some information discussing the fact that that civilization existed way before that.
Yeah, I sent you a snippet. It's called the 1884 Bible, and it tells you in there in the introduction. It talked about the Americans. It was called the mound builders, and that the mounds over here in America is older than the pyramids of Egypt. I sent you a snippet. It's on the Conscious Media 369. You can pull it up and let the white girl tell them about it. Ain't got they'll take them build black folks. The white lady, the historian, she reads it from the Bible, the 1884 Bible, in the introduction about us on, and they call the word civilization. Whoa! Now, mind you, if you look into the etymology of the word civilization, when did the word civilization come into the writing, Sister Mama?
Is civilization the word?
Yeah, the word itself. Etymology of civilization. When did the word come into the writing? So look up the etymology of civilization. So that's the night I got sick and I go to the hospital. I didn't know what was going on, but I was gonna come back. But I want to show you this. Because the etymology of the word civilization. What is the etymology of the word civilization? Not the definition. Okay.
Borrowed from French civilization, equivalent to civilization or Asian or civilization. Let me see, 1600.
1600. So that means that this word only came in 600. So you couldn't say because they couldn't use the word for Egypt because the word didn't exist at that time.
Wow.
The word didn't exist at that time. How about Egypt civilization? Hell, it couldn't even write the word.
Wow, that's right. That's a good point. Right? How could you?
I mean, don't play with me. You can't write the damn words. How can you have a civilization when the word didn't exist?
Right. And so, and how could we determine whether or not they had a civilization or not when we still are
because the word itself did not exist until the 1600s. Egypt was in the 2000s area. Here's 16. How in the hell are you going to call someone a civilization? That's a 1600 definition. The word didn't exist back during the time of Kemet.
Because they were trying to say that the Sand people were not a civilization; that they were hunter-gatherers. You know what I'm saying?
But they was a civilization based on the definition.
Right.
See, when you're using European definitions, you got to look like
if a group of people decide to travel from one place to another, what does that make their civilization less valuable? And the thing is that people are traveling still to this day. People still,
that's right.
Just because they put borders around everything and said that, okay, this is the United States, this is that, but people travel all the time. If I travel from here all the way to the other side of town to work and come back every morning, ain't that still kind of being nomadic a little bit? Because I'm going over here to make my money and come back.
That's what I
I
like
guess
about evolve.
if you
After,
just stand in one
after,
place, it's the only thing that makes you a civilization. That was a very crazy
no,
conversation.
hell no. No. And when that night we got into that thing on that thing, and the young man thought King J. I said, the boy ain't got a damn clue. So the spirit said, you always do not break your protocol. You always use etymology. So to King J, give me the etymology of the word civilization. It came up Indo-European French. Then but I didn't see the date. That was in 1600s. That
Mm,
this is after Egypt, not before. So how can you have the word for Egypt when it didn't exist during that time?
mm.
But you can type in conscious mind 369.
Is that on typing it on Facebook or on YouTube?
Type it on YouTube, please.
Conscious mind.
Conscious mind 369 / 1884 Bible. It's a young lady gonna tell you all about it, and she gonna show it to you. I want y'all to hear what she says. The mind, this is 1884.
What was it called? The 1884 Bible?
It's called the 1884 King James Bible, 1884 Bible. Conscious mind 369.
You know, I'm having a hard time finding it. And I said, got my phone. Is it spelled regular? CON, conscious mind?
I don't know if I can get it to come across, but let me go and see if I can pull it up here. 2160. Let me see here.
And this is about the mound. It says
Yes,
something about the mound people.
yes, it does. Yes. With conscious C-O-N-C-O-N C-I. You conscience. Hold on a minute. Conscience. This is conscience. That might be conscious media. M-E-D-I. Conscious media. Sister Monica. 369.
I'm having a hard time. I looked up that a long time ago. I couldn't find.
Yeah, it's a 8. Let's see. Yeah.
Please bear with us. We're trying to get you this information,
Oh yeah,
y'all,
yeah. Because this is important. Let's see.
because you guys are asking about this. We're asking about these mounds and stuff like that. You know.
And it's in this Bible. Uh, is it conscious media or conscious media? Is that MEDIA, Sister Monica?
M as in Michael.
Conscious media 369.
MEDIA.
I think it's MEDIA. Let me go to YouTube.
Did you send it to my Facebook or you send it to my phone?
I'll send it to your Facebook. It should be in Messenger.
Okay, let me see if I have it. Sorry, guys, hold on. Because everybody's asking about these mounds. It's going to give you the information about the mounds. Hold on.
Yeah, please. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, you found it.
I think so. Yep. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. It was worth the wait.
Trust me, it is. Trust me, it is.
All right, here we go.
That's it. That's it.
This old Bible. This is from 1884, and she's in pretty bad shape, but I started reading it, and there is something that I want to show you. So, this has a lot of amazing things in it. So, we're going to go over here, and I'll show you some of the, I took some screenshots of all of this stuff. Chronological chart of religions of the world. And one thing that I just want to show you here real quick, and I do have pictures of these maps. Ancient faiths before Christianity, and I found something really interesting for those of you who have ever heard of the mounds. So I came across, okay, here it is. This is where it starts. The fact that the American continent seems to have been unknown to the writers of the Hebrew scriptures, as well as to all other writers of sacred books in the Old World, is food for reflection. The evidences of the antiquity of mankind on this continent are as numerous and convincing as any found in the Eastern world. The race called the mound builders that preceded the American Indians have left abundant proofs of their advance in the arts of civilization. And in these particulars, the various sections of the country furnish very distinct groups of objects showing progress from age to age and independence of each other in language, manufacturers, and controls. In the plastic arts, the mound builders of America were far in advance of the so-called Stone Age of Europe. And then over here, I thought this was really interesting. It says, it is quite probable that the so-called savages of which we have accounts in the various nations of antiquity were the remnants of older people who had degenerated and lost their knowledge of better things and become wanderers or dwellers in the woods with the wild animals. And if you know anything about the mound builders, you know what I'm talking about. And this is in an 1884 Bible. And there's a bunch of other things in this Bible that I'm going to get to and show you. Just,
All right, so, and there you go.
Yeah. And that's the documented. That's in the Bible. And these mound builders were called Demonya de Washita. And the lady named, the empress of over them was called Empress Bertie Gaston. El Bay is one of her ministers of information, lives in Baton Rouge. He showed me that about 7 years ago, Sister Monica. I was down visiting. He had a private school. And I'm sitting there when he was showing me all these different things, and that there was never no Louisiana Purchase. The 580 million acres of land that's called the Louisiana Purchase never happened. What they did was they bought the street in front of the barracks, but you cannot sell what you do not own. So the French and Spanish gave the land back to the Washita. That's why she filed a lawsuit against the government in Geneva, Switzerland for $80 quadrillion because they took the land. Monroe, Louisiana. Monroe, Louisiana is supposed to be a neutral territory, while it's called Washita Parish. Washita Parish. That's documented. I told him we call it Bird Mound, but actually they call it Poverty Point. But the ancestor called it Bird Mound because from the air it looked like a big bird. In the historical record, it says that that Mount Providence Mount is older than the pyramids of Egypt. If you look up LSU mound, called Indian Mound. Remember, the Indians did not build this. It was the Washington mound builders.
Now,
LSU is built.
where did so they're saying that was before, but because I guess that was one of the points of contention when you were trying to say that the mound builders were there before the Egypt was.
Yes, and it's in the record. If you look up LSU mounds, LSU on Indian mounds,
Do you know?
they
You
are
know what the
older than
mounds? What were the mounds built for? What was the purpose of them?
they was built for navigation and built for worshiping. They were because they dealt with the cardinal points that dealt with the celestial heavens.
So do they have
Um,
actual
oh yeah, and some of the government markers on some of these mountains that taken by the government, do not trespass. They tell you exactly what it was used for.
so you could actually go inside them and see stuff like
Well,
there was
you can't go inside because they won't let you go inside, but they would tell you what was found when when some people dug into them. And that's
when
a place
one of
called,
the things they were found, did they find like an actual like they probably
they
dug
found
from
pottery, they found tools and stuff, right? And
Mhm.
if you pull up Poverty Point Mound. Poverty Point Mound, better known as Buried Mound, but pull it up. It's made like the Senate in Washington, D.C. All these huts sitting in a semicircle. Bear along with us, because this guy in the thing of the night, he thought he didn't have, I got frustrated because we kept going in and out. But I thank you for a redo, because I have the documents and I was looking at them up. But that 1884 book tells you about the mound, and everybody knew about the mounds. I got maps of the pyramids of mounds in America,
Yeah, we got
all on my wall.
to find him and bring him back because I think that that wasn't fair, and I think that your sound wasn't good, so you really couldn't really address it because we were so focused on the sound. But and then I think that people were doing a lot of cutting off and stuff like that, cutting people off, and
It
so
was.
but I think that a lot of it is because
There you
that
go.
it's
There you
a
go.
debating platform, so that's what they mainly do. So that's probably
Yeah.
why they were, they're ready to debate. You said that Kim wasn't first. They really believe it. Some people believe that, like that's their religion.
Yeah, right. But I think the one to your right, which one is that, Sister Monica?
That those are Poverty Point. Those are pictures of Poverty Point.
Okay, pull up one of if you can pull up one of them. I think like a semicircle around it, the mound, or read about. There should be a writing about.
That's what's showing right here.
Yeah, what it say about? What it say about it? That's it. Yeah, see what it say about it.
Poverty Point Evolutionary Milestones of Americas. The archaeological artifacts discovered at Poverty Point evidence of a highly developed ancient American culture that inhabited the lower Mississippi between deltas between 1750 and 1350 BC. This site includes one of the largest native constructions of eastern North America, and the earthworks are the oldest of their size in the Western Hemisphere. In the 1840s, Jacob Walter, an explorer traveling through the area looking for lead ore, first reported the presence of Native American artifacts on the Poverty Point site. However, the true significance and magnitude of the find was not discovered until the 1950s, when an old aerial photograph revealed the incredible size of the earthworks at the site. By examining the artifacts uncovered at the site, archaeological discovered that the site had been abandoned 300,000 years ago. 300.
How many years?
3,300 years ago.
Okay.
3,300 years ago, and the society of hunter-gatherers was large and sophisticated. Scientists estimate that the construction of the massive earthworks at the site took millions of hours of labor to complete. They kill me with the hunter gatherer.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
You know what I'm saying? They gotta be hunter
Yeah.
gatherers. They can't. They, you know what I'm saying? They still,
They can't
even though
just say the black people. They can't say the Negroes. We got to be hunter gatherers. We got to be all. Come on, people. Did we lose your sister? I hope we didn't.
no, I'm sorry. Some people ran my door. Some kids ran my door.
That's all right.
It's the it's summertime.
Yeah,
They,
they tell
they
me
doing
about it. I'm
that.
going through it.
They running to the door and running and stuff and
Yeah.
yep. So yeah. That's greetings is so hey either if you want to come up, but yeah. So that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But they killed me with the no. They had to be hunter gatherers, so they weren't a sophisticated
Yeah. Well,
civilization.
okay. Yeah. That's the cop out. I want to do one more, then we can go on. Pull up LSU Mound, Indian Mound. LSU Indian Mound. Because the college is built on top of a burial ground of our ancestors. Why they call Baton Rouge called Bloody Stick. LSU Indian Mound. And the school is built on top of it, and that's a damn shame. You know.
At the heart of LSU campus are two earthen mounds, architectural remnants created by Native Americans thousands of years ago, built by egalitarian hunter-gatherers, and the subject of mystery and marvel. What? Okay, so what's a hunter-gatherer? So what? How do they know they were hunter-gatherers?
They don't. They don't.
They hunter-gatherers. They gotta be hunter-gatherers. Why would they build that? If they're hunter
Yeah,
gatherers and
right.
they're going from spot to spot, why do they need to build a mound?
Yeah, because they have to get that. I mean, they're nomadic. So why I need to build a map? I'm being nomadic.
That's funny. That is funny.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is that they want to basically discount us and make people seem like
they want to discount us from
being it's a lot of
here.
fake news. It's a lot of fake news.
Yeah, fake. And then there's a book she talks about in her book. Just give me a second. I mean, this library around me. It's all. She talks about us in the book, how that the Indian was worshiping black men when they came into the land.
Okay. Y'all was worshipped. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they still worship, you know. Black men was worshipped back in the day. Y'all hear that? I heard that there was also some that even California was a black god, like a goddess, you know, some kind of black deity, you know, like the actual goddess is called California or something like that. So we're right now, guys, we're going into like the whole history of like this whole thing that we call the unseen government, you know. So I was trying to show y'all. There's another video he had sent me, and this is when he had the lady talking about the what was that? It was the one with the AI. Oh, let me see this one. Here we go. Oh no, that was a lunar calendar thing. I'm gonna wait for that one. So I'm waiting on Baba to come back. So again, we're kind of going over the history of like of our of you know of the government as well as our place in this whole thing, because I think that we have been taught a bunch of lies, you know.
Yes.
Because if you've been to any elementary school in America, you have to unprogram it, deprogram yourself, and not believe the bull's crap that you've been told. And see, Baba was there for a lot of these events that happened back in the 60s, the civil rights movement, these marches and walks that they did. He was
Yeah,
there.
I was
So
there. Right?
yes. So if you have a question that you want to ask Baba about that time, please feel free to come up. I just put the StreamYard link in the chat. We're almost at our 2 hour mark, so we're gonna be wrapping
Right.
up here
Yeah.
shortly. But if there's anybody with a question or wants to say something, be sure to just go and drop on in because we'll be wrapping up pretty soon.
Yeah. Most definitely. And I will get a chance to find the other book because I've got several of them, and I'm going through them trying to find that part that's highlighted. This is a book written by, her name is Elizabeth Chancellor Bate, America Before Columbus. This not Van Serlin. She is a white author. I'm trying to find the chapter where she said that that is a 500 Nation by what's his name? That when the Indians came over from the Byron Straits and saw these copper colored men, they bowed to them because they thought they were gods. These magnificent, yeah. And that is James Adair, 500 Nations. That's the damn book. I'm sorry. It's in 500 Nations by James Adair. Oh boy. Since I got so many books and stuff that I'm trying to quote this from memory, but he says that when the so-called Indians came across the Byron Strait and walked into what they call North America and saw these majestic black men with copper-colored men, they thought they were gods and they bowed to them as if they were gods. Yeah.
So I wonder. Here's another thing. Now they had this ancient map that was supposed to be for Tartaria. I'm not sure. This is like going. This is going really deep into the conspiracies. So Tartaria is supposed to be what an ancient civilization that existed, and it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be prior to this thing called the mud flood. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
So you know about the mud flood. You know about ancient Tartaria and the ancient Tartarians and how they had this supposedly very advanced civilizations, which is that the whole all these churches that we have on this over here really are remnants of that civilization. Are you aware of that? Are you familiar with that?
We've talked about it, not much so much as in depth. Because back during the late 70s and 80s, we worried about the reptilian movement that was taking place at that time. And so there were reptilians. It was called the reptilians, the Nephilims, the Zimmermans, and the Anakins. So, and then the Greys. Oh, there he is. What's going on, bro?
Hey.
What's going on, my boy? Sister, we had a time today. we had a time today. Hey, brother Andrews, can you show her the map? What you talking about? He got a pyramid map with all that on it. Monica, Andrew has a map, and we was in that map today with my hair. Show the pyramid map with all what we were talking about today.
Let me go see, because I got on my phone here so I can see. I don't know if I can flip my camera around. Hold on 1 second.
We had this discussion. Yeah, there you go.
Let me see. Oh, how you flip this thing around? I don't know how clear this is going to be, because...
Yeah, we just do the best you can.
No doubt. I got you. What part you want me to show? The 300?
Yeah, but walk it all the way down and about the various levels and what avian force was operating in those different levels like he did today.
Okay. So,
That's all right.
Trying to figure out a place to set this big old thing in. All right.
He got a big map. We got these maps, so they all they want to, Sister Monica. But we have the documentation to back the conversation. You know, it ain't about emotions; it's about facts. and that's no attack.
Okay, I don't know if I can.
Just
Do
do
you
the
know?
best you can.
You know if it's a way to use your front camera?
I don't know. I'm not that technical anyway. But the day you did a FaceTime thing with it today,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're on there. I could show you,
But can you read out some of it?
yeah, I'll try to flip. I'm gonna try to flip it around. You can tell me if you can actually see
Yeah, there it is. That's it. Yeah, there it is.
everything that you're seeing. So, um, but this is basically called the World Hierarchy Pyramid, and it's breaking down esoterically all of the different realms. So you can see at the top you'll have God, Yahweh, I am that I am, right at the top, and then you come down and you can see where it says the angelic realm,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you can look at this. This is the realm where the Orisha would be at, and you can keep coming down here. It starts to get interesting. So we come down here, you can see Satan, the Anunnaki, systems of enslavement, Baal, El, all of these different things. But what really got interesting is then when you get down here, you can see the Council of 13, you see the Pharaoh. It just breaks down a lot of different things. It just gives you a visual. But what got me to bringing this out is that I was talking to Baba earlier, and he mentioned the Committee of 300, and I'm like, I remember seeing that somewhere. And as I got my pyramid out, you can see that committee of 300 right there.
Right there.
Yeah,
For a conspiracy, there it is right there.
right there, Committee of 300. And what's right next to it?
Yeah,
Israel.
they put that beneath Satan, so that means he even lower than they even lower than Satan. The Vatican,
We're
Yeah,
because
actually,
they had Satan up above, like he was like a little bit higher up on
yeah,
the list.
yeah. He's a little bit higher up on here, but they got a lot of different. Is you got your bloodlines on the right here. You got your priesthoods on the left, and then
right?
you come down. You can see your Masons, your
Dang.
Grandmaster Mason, Supreme Council 33. But this is interesting right
Now,
here.
now, Mark, you heard that the Council of 33? I thought it was conspiracy.
Where can I get that from? Where'd you get that from?
So,
I mean, it's loaded.
yeah, it got everything on here. And then as you get down, it'll show you. You got your at the very bottom. You got your 9 to 5 slaves, your clones, and your debtors.
Your what? Your clones?
Yeah, your debtors, your zombies, and your goyim. That's if you're familiar with
And they were trying to
Israelite
call
culture.
us goyim. The Jews were trying to call the black people goyim.
But
Exactly.
going is that only means Gentile.
Yeah.
That only means Gentile in the language.
But
Yeah.
if you want
But
to get, I just Googled World Hierarchy Pyramid. It's real interesting. It'll give you a lot of stuff to look at, and this is only the half of it because
oh yeah,
What?
oh yeah. Yeah.
it's deep. Because I mean, this whole thing is just I got it big and framed out so I can see everything. But as you can see, it goes into a lot of different things. Of course, you're gonna have to implement your African spirituality in the right place. But
Mm-hmm.
But see, what you have to realize is this: we're under the Luciferian age. It's called the Luciferian age, and in the scriptures, and Daniel 9 and let's see, in Daniel 7:25, say they will seek to change the law and time, and it
Yeah.
says for a time and dividing of time, and that's where we are. For a long time, they were trying to find this antichrist with the markings, but you don't go by the mark, you go by the characteristics of this beast or this mindset. They tell you that we're in the time of the Luciferian timeline. So type in Luciferian timeline, and just like Andrew showed you, on that pyramid, it falls under Lucifer. Now Satan only means adversary, but it's called the Luciferian timeline. Luciferian timeline. Type that in. You folks play too much. They play too much, Andrew. They play too
Say
much,
they
man.
play too much.
They play too much, man.
Hey, don't let them play with you.
Oh man, you know I ain't gonna do that.
Don't let them
No.
play with you. Are you
I
looking
found
at?
I found that thing, and then hold on, I'm trying to bring up the Luciferian timeline too. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Luciferian timeline would explore the history of evolution of Luciferian beliefs and practices in religious context. Lucifer is often associated with Satan and fall from grace. In a more recent context, like Luciferianism as a modern spiritual practice, the timeline would examine the development of these ideas and their various interpretations. In ancient,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. And that's the time we in now. That's why we're going through a metamorphosis. The time is almost up. I think it's Daniel 7:25. He said, and he would speak word against the Most High and against the saints, and wear out the saints for a time and dividing of time. They will seek to change the laws and time. What the hell you think they doing now?
yeah. I think Aleister Crowley. Yep, that he
Yeah,
was a key figure in that Luciferian movement.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's a famous occultist.
Yeah. So
So you see, that's why we talk about this government. It ain't what you think you're seeing out there. What's behind the curtain?
Man, this is this blew my mind because it's so funny. It's so much pyramid that you'll miss it. And like when that conversation we had earlier, I'm like, he said, "Hey, you ever heard of 300?" And just my knee-jerk reaction was no. And I started thinking, I'm like, I've seen that somewhere, and brought the pyramid out, and it was right there.
Yeah.
And it showed that connections. This will give you a whole bunch of stuff to Google, a whole bunch of rabbit holes you can jump down.
well, yeah, that brain be on 10, can't even think no more.
Man. For real.
Hey Andrew.
Yes, sir.
What you think? What you think about brother Mahara today? The brother I brought on.
Oh man, deep brother, man. Definitely knows some things. He got me to thinking. He was talking too. I started bringing out books. Like, hold up, what'd you say there? What was that? So, was he on the show today?
No, he wasn't. We're gonna get him on, but he's supposed to be on. But he got married. That we supposed to brought him on. But today he called me to verify some things, and I had a chance to put y'all together. He was part of our think tank in Dallas, and our school as instructor. He speaks 5 different languages, and he broke your name down today. You know.
Well, he broke whose name down?
Andrew last name. He said, I'm gonna call you just because. And he told him why and what it meant. Is that right, Andrew?
Yeah, he was. He said he liked saying it because of. I thought I wrote it down what it meant, but I'm gonna get it from him again.
Yeah, man, it's awesome.
Because he gave me so much else to think about. I was sitting down writing down book names.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we were really getting into this whole thing, and I'm like, I started to say, like, it's hard to start even believing that these people are even human beings. You know what I'm saying? Because Elon Musk, not now. I mean, hell, I've even seen images of him like walking, but they say he's on drugs and stuff like that, which they probably could, are just trying to cover up the fact that his veil is coming off, his like alien. You know what I'm saying? I know what one day he gonna zip that whole alien suit off his thing. He gonna like all kind of crazy like tentacles and stuff gonna start coming out and everything. Like
we was talking today about the test tube baby in our conversation. See, you got to go way back. Everybody walking around here, though they may have the same color skin, we ain't kin, and everybody that don't have a soul.
Say some, huh?
Go ahead.
You say some of them clone, huh?
Yeah, they clone, and you saw on your deal about the cloning. It's on your pyramid, the cloning. Now, this stuff is real, people. You don't know what you're talking to. And matter of fact, the book says, be careful how you entertain strangers, but some have entertained angels unaware. What kind of damn angels?
Right. What kind of messenger?
What kind of messenger did you encounter? What's the real deal behind it? Oh, Sister Monica, baby. It was a baby. This thing is deep.
What was it? Y'all was talking about the laws, right?
Yeah.
And so look at this here.
What we got?
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, guys. I
Shit,
have to go to the answer door.
you got all of the spiritual law.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Okay, what does that say? Let me see. Let me zoom in on it.
Shahira law.
Sharia law, yeah, Muslim, Islamic.
Yep. But then
So they're breaking down the law according to what the hierarchy of the law, and
Eve serpent and the Cain's lineage. We was talking about this the other day. The order
Yeah.
of Melchizedek.
Right, yeah.
But all of this is connected. There go your priesthood of
which is the priesthood of what?
Amun.
Yeah.
The code
And
of
who is that? The Amun-Ra priesthood?
Yep.
Hmm.
But I mean, if you start looking at if you start looking at this, you see how all of this stuff, a lot of this stuff is connected.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, and I want to share this with y'all. Now, everybody keep hollering about Jesus, right? But Jesus is an acronym for all of those deities, man. I dare you to look it up. You take the J, the E, the S, these are the names that pops up. That's not a name, that's an acronym for all of those gods you just mentioned.
Mm.
I did it, like I told you, when I got my first conversion back in '73, and I was told to go look the name up. We talked about it. You remember that, Andrew?
Yes.
And I told him, and the Spirit says, write the name, not the horizontal, but write it vertical, and examine each letter in the name. If you get a Random House unabridged dictionary and go through each letter in the name, you're gonna see those same damn names you just showed a while ago. That's codified in the name of Jesus. Jesus is not it is an acronym of all these gods.
What's Pinky's gone how?
Say that what?
I'm sorry. I said that she's crying about the dog.
Oh, okay. There's a book called The Gospel of Barnabas. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I never heard the gospel. I mean, I've heard the gospel. I never read it though.
Yeah, well, I've read it. And it's called The Confession of Jesus. And he said that he is not the Messiah. I am not the Messiah. He said, and perhaps the devil have deceived you. You gone mad. I am not the Messiah. I also looking for the Messiah. I'm a man born of a woman that will live and die as you die. I'm going like, damn.
What is that? The book of Barnabas? The what?
The gospel of Barnabas.
Hmm. See, they left a lot of those books out for some reason. They said it's not canonical or whatever. I don't know.
They were not canonized because the story wouldn't.
I'm looking at this, but you know, Jesus, a lot of Jesus's literature came around the same around the Roman Empire, and it's connected as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the guy's name is Apollonius of Tyana.
Because if you look here, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Because I'm just saying, you could see here, you got your Holy Roman Empire, but it's right above your priesthoods and bloodlines. You got Washington D.C., the Vatican City, and the City of London. Those all three of them connected, own countries.
Well, you know what? I think that I just read somewhere, and I think that Baba was talking about the fact that there's some kind of treaty that that the Vatican, DC, and then some other place. It's like
Most
3 different, like the Vatican City, Washington DC, and then one other place, and they are under their own government. They're
yeah,
not
Right.
under the government of the place that they are located at,
yeah.
right? And DC has its own constitution. The
Right.
Vatican has its own constitution, and like Washington DC is supposedly the like
The
which,
federal government.
no, they're like the military part of
Well,
these
that's
3.
yeah. That's and you know the president's called the commander in chief. That's military.
Yeah, so and then I think that the Vatican is like the spiritual aspect. And then this other city, is it the 12? Is it like the it's I'm not sure if it's 3 cities or 12 cities, but it was some specific cities that make up this group.
Yeah.
It's not the Trilateral Commission. No, I don't.
You know,
That's
there's one more that I want to bring up. It's called the Grand Council of Constantine. Andrew, put up. It's called the Grand Council of Constantine.
Grand Council of Constantine. Let me look that up.
That's the Council of Nicaea, right?
Yeah,
It's
that's
deeper.
when I look it up.
Oh, Constantinople.
No, Constantine. It's called the Grand Council
I-
of the Grand Wizard of Constantine.
They have the Third Council of Constantinople.
No, this is something a little different.
The Council of Constance.
It talks about the same thing in the Committee of 13. They only got so many people per town that runs everything. It's called the Grand Council of the Red. Oh, okay, the Grand Council of the Red Cross of Constantine. That's it. The Grand Council of the Red Cross of Constantine.
Okay.
Masonic and Military Order of the Red Cross of Constantine is a 3rd-degree order of Masonry.
There you go.
It says York Right.
Yeah, that's why the Red Cross will go across any enemy line with that Red Cross, and they ain't gonna be bombing them.
Oh, because that's like a Masonic thing. I thought it was because they're supposed to be helping people.
Yeah, they control the wars.
It says the Masonic and Military Order. It's 3rd-degree order of Masonry.
It's the Red Cross of Constantine.
It's a pendant order of the Holy Sepulchre of Saint John the Evangelist. Is a Christian fraternal order of Freemasonry. Candidates for the order must already be members of the Craft Freemasonry Lodge and Royal
Name me one Negro part of that organization. Name me one.
I don't know.
Hey, I'm looking on it. I'm looking for it real quick. Let me try to see if I can find them. If they, because there's so much.
Hey, this is a white supremacy cross. That's
Yeah.
right. They use this in Ku Klux Klan stuff.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on. The Knights. The Knights. Don't they call themselves the Knights and stuff? And
The Knight Templars, the what they call the Knights Templar, and then there's another one. Yeah. I mean, the rabbit hole gets deeper and deeper with the shadow government.
Is the KKK really a Masonic order?
It's a Christian Masonic order.
It's part of it. Yeah.
It's a Christian. They are chartered on the Christian First Baptist Church. They're chartered on the First Baptist Church, and they are Christian organization. They're like the ADL among the Jews. You know what the ADL is among the Jews is, right?
Yeah, anti-defamation league.
And that's the military and legal
I
arm.
say
And that
the anti-defamation league.
yeah, that's and they are the military and the legal arm of the Jewish of the Zionist Jews.
Yeah, see, they made this cross of the KKK to look similar to this cross of the. So that's how you know that's what they did that Masonic stuff.
That's crazy because I'm looking for this council on here because I'm looking at the York Rite and the York. I don't see that exact council, but I'm seeing other stuff that you're mentioning because it's when you look at this York Rite on this pyramid, it's connected to the military wing of the government.
Right.
So you'll see Yorkish Rite.
Well, yeah, it is the military because that cross that you with if you the Red Cross they're there before any before the even the troops and stuff come to the war.
Yeah.
I think the Red Cross shows up at every war at every have you noticed
They
that?
do it, and they cross all lines. They cross all both lines. They go cross them.
So you see that Yorkish Rite right there? You got your Yorkish Rite. All of those different orders, and then where it said right there, the military wing.
Yeah.
Wow, that thing got everything in it.
No, I'm telling you, because it's got all the different. And if you look at it, this right side pillar is for destruction, and then you come over here, your left side pillar says construction, and it has your eastern stars, all that. But on this right side, that military ring, just like you said, is connected. You see the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Defense.
Yeah.
And guess what? They right above who? The drug cartels that keep putting that what in our.
Wow,
This mug got everything on it.
wow, that's crazy. I need to get that. I'm gonna get that thing.
Yeah.
I found it on YouTube. Balance Touch. You can find this. Look for that. Look that up. I see it. I'm about to print that out.
And guess what's right next to destruction? It says the Fraternal Order of the Police.
Yeah.
So, where's AI on there? Where's artificial intelligence on that list?
Man, you know what? It might be on here.
It should. I would imagine.
Give,
Alien. I think
give me some more.
alien.
And it might unlock some more because, like I said, there's so much fine print on here that it's impossible for you to actually lock in on everything. It's just something will come up and you'd be like, oh, what? I seen that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It was something I was watching. They were saying that it was Cameron and he was laughing. His friend was telling him that the government is working with that they traded the internet and AI to be able to mine the planet of like some kind of like whatever their planet needs. And so Cameron was laughing because he's like, so why would they need, what I'm saying? Why do they need to mine our country and to give us, why would they need to do that? But I don't know. To me, I do believe that this AI stuff is alien technology. Whether it might be from aliens from inside the Earth or some that has civilization that like, because even if you notice, have you found out that they're finding out more about the pyramids that they were really connected to like underground cities and all type of bunkers and stuff underground?
It's called the mole people. That's called the history of the mole people. They live underground.
Really?
It's called the history of the mole people.
So wait, so were the Egyptians mole people?
No, there's another civilization that lives underground, and they only come out at certain times. Look, it's called the history of the mole people. Mole, not mood, but mole. They had a movie about it about 10 years ago, and they took it off the market.
No, they that.
Oh my.
No, they call them homeless people. They're not talking about the.
Yeah, but now that about 10 years ago they had a movie I called the mole people. They live underground, like in subways and stuff like this, and then they had caves underground. Uh, Matter of fact, they went down in Antarctica. 4 guys did. Only one made it back, and he was scared to death. He said he found a whole civilization down there with highly technical evolved.
Just
Y'all
underground.
time y'all time here of 607 talking about Antarctica and up in there.
Yeah, I was watching something that was talking about that. The reason why you can't go to the North Pole is because there's some people that really think that the sun itself is like that. There's like almost like a projector coming. Man, I've been down so many weird rabbit holes.
I've seen.
But that there's like that if you go up there, it's like a hole going down, and it's like a black hole in the bottom, and then there's a sun. So we have the sun, but there's a black hole. Man, I've heard so many crazy stuff. Sometimes I gotta be like, okay, look, I'm going down. I'm at the bottom of the Great Glacier. You know what I'm saying?
You heard of that?
Now
That
there's a place out of Carlsbad Cabin. Have you heard of it?
No.
I've been down in it. It's a whole 3 miles down, and I went. It's called the Carlsbad Cavern, and it's about 3 or 4 miles down. And the further you go down, the colder it gets. And they got paths and pathways down there. It's called It's in New Mexico. It's called the Carlsbad Caverns.
Ain't that crazy? The further you go down, the what it gets.
It gets so damn cold down there, Monica. Shit, Alaska ain't got shit on it.
So here's the question: is the Earth core hot or is it cold?
That's the good question. And matter of fact, between was up in there near Wichita, Kansas, and Wichita and Missouri, those mountains up there, they actually store the food inside because the mountains are colder than any refrigerator you can get. A Smucker's jelly. I've hauled Smucker's jelly out of the mountain of Missouri, and man, you would damn near freeze to death.
What?
Yes. I've seen this in trucking. I ain't what I heard. We had to go in this mountain to load up turkeys and Smucker's jelly. It's up at there and outside of either Wichita, Kansas, or Missouri, up in there. And those mountains so damn cold inside. Shit, make it last look like a summer vacation.
Right. So I'm like, is it cold or is it hot in the core of the
That's a
Earth?
good question.
If you go into the water, right? Water is what? Cold, right?
Oh, shit.
The
Man,
deeper down you go, it's cold, right?
yeah. Matter of fact,
So how if it's absent of sun, how is it hot? And why isn't it hot if it's closest to the core?
That's the mystery. I'm telling you, I know what I've heard, I know what I experienced. I said, what the hell? When you put up cars back here, it'll tell you how cold it is down there, how deep it is. And when you get there, you can either walk down and take the elevator. I took the elevator down there. It was like about 3 or 4 miles down into the earth. And man, it's so damn cold down there, boy, make Alaska look like a summer vacation.
That's another thing. See, we were lied to on so many different levels.
Oh, that's why you need to travel and see some of this stuff. I hear you. I'm gonna go see it for myself, and you'd be surprised. Oh shit.
Yes, it's important to travel. Get your travel on. Don't stay in one place. Go to different countries. Visit other places.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with families, as far as that council of 300, did y'all go into the different to any of the families?
Yeah, Monica around for this, but it's about 13 families. And
yeah, we talked about I showed them.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. See, that's why I'm
trying to figure out where Elon Musk's family falls into that, because I'm like, why did he even get that control like he did?
MOMEY.
It could,
Yeah, but
but
anybody can have money. You know, that he
But,
got old money. That's old money. That's something. There's
you
some
got
kind of
old
other.
money, and then you gotta look up Elon Musk family lineage. It ties back into Germany.
yeah, it's nepotism for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Same thing with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is German.
Okay, here I was about to show you this because this is one of them rabbit holes I went down. Okay, so check this out.
Ever seen this video where this guy draws a flat earth diagram and talks about how there's the black hole sun that is projecting light through the center of our realm? And have you ever considered the fact that maybe, just maybe, the northern lights are evidence of this exact phenomenon? You see, I never wanted to give this too much thought or attention because supposedly this is a Masonic idea. But lately, I've seen some things that have opened my mind to it, and I'm going to show them to you. What I want to first make you aware of is the fact that much like there's an Antarctic treaty, there's also an Arctic treaty where you're not allowed to go to the North Pole, and there are 150 countries that have signed this agreement. And yes, you can take a trip or a tour to the North Pole, but it's only going to bring you to Fairbanks, Alaska. And I want you to notice this watery area here. Because on the old maps, there used to be all sorts of land there that all of a sudden doesn't show up on the new maps. And not only is there a treaty to keep you out of that general vicinity, but there is also surveillance set up for thousands of miles around the North Pole. It's called the Dew Line, and it was created in 1958.
This was to build a radar network above the Arctic Circle, a distant early warning line, which would span the North Polar region.
You see, they say it's to detect anyone coming across the globe from, say, Russia. But in my opinion, this dew line that literally circles the entire North Pole is to detect anybody going towards the center. The center where maybe, just maybe, that hole is projecting our reality into the sky. And I'm not insinuating that we're living in a simulation. If anything, it's God's creation and his projection into the sky. But I want to show you evidence now that where we live might be set up very similarly to a planetarium. Because a planetarium is set up where at the center of it, it projects the night sky into a domed screen. A domed screen that looks a lot like this. In fact, this is actually what it looks like. And this is my good friend David Shane, and he has found very similar looking patterns in the dome shape above us. You can see here, these patterns he has found multiple times surrounding the stars. And when you look at them side by side, they're pretty similar. But this isn't even the biggest part of what I want to show you. Oh no, there's much more. Because when you explore how the projector works in these planetariums, well, you'll see.
If you've been to a planetarium any time in the last 2 decades, then chances are it didn't use vector graphics or fancy starballs, but instead looked a bit more like this, using digital projectors. Let me show you something really cool. Can we turn on projector 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, the dome is actually being covered by 5 separate projectors, which each have a corresponding field of view. When setting up a planetarium for the first time, the operator needs to carefully align each of these projections so that they blend together seamlessly.
Seeing how the planetarium works and then seeing videos like this where the sky literally glitches out got me thinking. And believe me, at first I thought this was just refocusing, but I've looked at it a lot. Something happens there. Just like it seems like something's happening there. Nature doesn't form straight lines. Something's going on here, and I captured my own very similar phenomenon, very similar to this, which was also captured in Florida, where I captured my own. You see, this is mine, and I captured this lightning on video, and when I went back, there is something very distinctive happening with that line in the sky. It wasn't until I saw this with my very own eyes from my very own camera that I really started to contemplate this. And when you look at the sky doing these weird things in these different examples, it looks an awful lot like when the projector only has 2 projectors on. And to me, there's no question they are hiding something at the North Pole. A lot of people think it's a giant magnetic mountain. A lot of people think maybe it's the center of our torus field. But I'm starting to think maybe God's projector is coming out from the center of our realm. And maybe, just maybe, sometimes we're able to get a glimpse of that projection up into the night sky. And something else that also makes me extremely open to this idea of our projected reality into the sky are the stars. This is the star Sirius, the dog star. And if you've seen my videos, you know I capture dogs in the stars. There's one there, nose and eyes, nose, 2 eyes. How is this happening unless there's some sort of projected image coming from the center of our realm? Now, I'm by no means saying we're living in a simulation. I fully believe we are spirits inhabiting these meat suit avatar bodies right now, but maybe our reality is a lot different than even truthers think. After all, the Bible does say the sun is in the firmament. Maybe the firmament's below us as well as above. And maybe that sun is shining up into the dome we live under and creating the stars and creating the lights that we see in the night sky. Have you ever seen this video where this guy draws a...
That's a... What do you think
Wow.
about that?
Hey, very interesting. Very interesting.
Listen, I be in the rabbit hole, honey. I be down that rabbit hole. My algorithm is so crazy. Shoot, I had to take a break from it sometime. Like, what? If I scroll on Instagram, I'll be like, what? There's one dude that's trying to say that he thinks that China is actually, we're on the same landline, that you actually walk over to China. You know?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Whoa.
He was saying that people were saying that when they were coming over and hitting the border, they were saying they walked over here.
Well, through the Byron Strait, they did. You can walk over here. That's
no, he was saying people that was saying that they was coming up from Mexico.
Yeah, but according to James Adair, 500 nations, he said that many of them walked across the Byron Strait into North America and then walked down. And he talked about the different ones, and that's why I got that from about when they saw the black man that they. And I was trying to find that book. That's where it said. It's in that book, James Adair, 500 Nations.
Well, wasn't that where they got that? Wasn't that California goddess from California? That actually yes, California was actually a goddess.
Yeah, it's a black woman named after that. Matter of fact, one of the comedians did a whole breakdown on it. And matter of fact, what's his name? Eddie Griffin. He did a comedy sketch on it. You know, a lot of these guys, man. Eddie Griffin one day was throwing out some heavies, man, on one of them comedy strips, and I'm going like, damn, boy. And he was talking about the essence and all this, and he broke it down by California, and Sandy, all them places. Yeah.
But you know, the comedians at one point were the closest thing to the king. You know, the jester. Right. So.
And I was showing, I'm trying to think this guy's name. That the white boy claimed to be invented basketball, but it was 2 black brothers. And when the plantation owner found what he did, they killed him, and the plantation owner took the credit for it. They was picking peaches. That's what it was. And he was throwing, and one of the guys made baskets, and he was throwing them into it, and the white boy got upset. Stole the idea and sold it.
Well, they had to kill him, though. Well, that's crazy.
They killed him. They said they actually killed him. You know, damn so did kill him.
I'm trying to find this one thing about so like, okay, look back on this Elon situation.
Okay,
okay. So basically, my whole theme is I think that he has to be something. He got to be from some kind of a family or something, and then that nepotism that's going on. And I think that I do think there's something. I mean, they say it's because he's autistic or something like that. That's why he behaves the way he does, you know. But there's something else. But I've heard they said that he was on drugs or something like that. He's on
yeah, that's it today. Because you know they're gonna do that because he went against Trump. But remember, in 20-something, Elon Musk voted with Biden. He was voting Democrat. And all of a sudden, he flips over to Republican because he saw an opportunity.
And now he's saying he wants to create his own party. So
Yeah, right. He ain't the only one that started. You remember Kennedy said the same thing.
right.
Yeah, Kennedy said the same thing back in a while, and they thought he was gonna do it. What's this girl name? The white lady she was talking about that. But I'm gonna tell you something. Anytime you start doing that, you gotta look at that banking cartel. They will wipe your butt out.
So they get you.
Oh, they're gonna get you. And that's why I was telling you about this committee, about this committee of 300, and they are the bankers. It is the bankers and these families you talk about. They control the financial, the staffing of this of the world, and the minerals, and all precious metals.
Yep. The world is world resource control.
Yeah, they don't give a damn
Yeah.
about who president is. They control the resources.
Yeah, that's
They got
crazy. So I'm gonna look, watch this. I'm gonna show you this.
NATO,
Check this out, right? Go ahead.
United Nations, all of those institutions they use to control resources.
Yeah.
So here we go. Watch this.
I told you. What I tell you? What I tell you about Elon Musk? What I tell you? I told you he's not human. He's not human, dog. Something is controlling him, man. I think he's cyborg. I told you. I think he built himself with his own technology. Did you see him in this interview? He's walking. He's like, yeah, I just feel.
Yeah, refurbishable might be a better word. Well, like, what lessons have you learned that you?
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. Technology.
You're just trying to get data out of the thing.
I think I'm short-circuiting. Yo, I said, look at this motherfucker. He's short-circuiting. There's a glitch in the matrix, everybody. There's a glitch. I told y'all. You didn't listen to me, did you? I told you. Watch it over and over. He's like, he's trying to walk normal. Normal? Just come on, Elon. Be normal every day. Oh, God. Something happening to me. Yeah. Tesla is down 71%. I'm losing my fortune. I'm losing my 14 kids. I should get another baby. I should kill all my. No. Yeah. You guys, let me know what you think. There's a glitch in the matrix.
Boy, God damn.
So that's funny. That's funny, y'all. So listen, we had a great show today. I wanted to get some final thoughts about this whole thing. We're gonna come back and stuff on Sunday again with Baba Yashabiyah to go over principles of E5.
Yeah.
What are some thoughts? What are some thoughts you want to say? First, let's get it for King Isa or King Isa?
Izza.
King
Izza. All right.
Like RZA, Izza. Okay.
Exactly, like the rappers, but put an I in front of Izza.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
Yeah.
I came in a little bit late, but from what I came in, like I said, this got me looking back at that map, and I guess I'll leave with just showing some of the connections that I just made. Like if you start on this whole pyramid, I don't know if you can see the whole thing, but I tried to kind of set it up because it's deep.
Yeah.
But if you go down to the bottom and you just focus on this left side of the pyramid, you'll see the matrix, which consists of your 9-to-5 slaves, your general population, and then you can see what they use to control us, sports and religion. And as you continue to go up, who controls all that? You got your banking cartels, the insurance,
That is. Mm-hmm.
credit cards,
Mm-hmm.
big tech. That's controlled by World Finance. That's the World Bank.
Right.
That as well. Who controls the banking? Secret societies.
Yeah. The committee of 3,300.
And you see your committee of 300.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's just on that left side of the pyramid right there. You go on the right side, you'll start seeing your secret societies. But like I said, I'm late to the party. I missed a lot, but
you came in on the right time.
All of this stuff.
This ain't the last one we're gonna do, so you know we'll make
Yeah.
sure we let you know next time so we can really go over that.
Yeah.
That
It's my fault. I knew about it. I'm just a little late. But at the end of the day, yeah, a lot of this stuff is connected. And if you just take some of these names and start doing some Google searches, you'll jump down a rabbit hole and connect a lot. And I'll just leave it at that because I should be here Sunday.
All right. Well, I'm gonna piggyback on the same thing. We've said enough. We showed up, and it's up to them to accept it or reject it. Because here at Alchemy, we're here not to intimidate or debate. We're here to elevate. So hey, if you come over here and grow, or stay where you at. Pop back. Pop is out. Baba's out. We're out. Y'all have a great day.
Right now.
all right.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and
Please donate.
subscribe.
Yeah, please donate. If you're growing and getting enlightenment, please donate. You understand? Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right, peace out, guys.
Peace.
Peace.
I am blessed to make money, money making money, money making money, money making money, money making money, manifest making money, money making money, money making money, money making money. I ain't stressed, making money, money making money, money making money, money making money. Gratitude is my attitude. I'm making money moves. Jewelry in the safe, piggy bank